An incredible performance in her controversial new movie. Please welcome the star of Basic Instinct, Sharon Stone, folks. Hey, how you doing?
Great.
Boy, just a killer film. You were great in that movie.
Thanks.
I can't understand why. I guess Douglas is just such a huge star that he gets all his names on the billboard and all that. I thought you were like the focal point of the film.
Well,
You feel
thanks.
short-shrifted there, or is your time to come?
Well, I was pretty thrilled to get the part.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get a big star like Michael, they try to get another big star to be the other person.
Right.
So they got me.
Yeah, well, you are a big star now. It must have changed your life. What's the last week
Well,
been like?
it's real different. I mean, people that I used to talk to would come and go, "Hey, how you doing?" Go like this. "Hi."
Are they scared of you or awed of you now, do you think?
they're
Which one it is?
scared.
Yeah?
I think
they
they're
might
scared.
just be awed because they know you're
Well,
bigger now.
I feel big.
Yeah. You know what the most depraved scene for me is when he goes to that discotheque and you're in the bathroom and you kick that door shut. The look in your eyes, God, it was Dante-esque. I thought, like, this woman has descended into the deepest pit of hell at this point. It was a killer look, right?
It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun, yeah.
It must have been great to kick out all your, must have been cathartic to someone to kick out all your depraved jams like that, to get paid for it, huh?
Yeah, it is, because there's so many rules in life. And then when you're a girl, there are like more rules. And then when you're a girl in movies, there are more rules, because you don't really play real women very much. You play some guy writer's idea about how the woman makes him feel.
Right.
So you're not really playing real people. So suddenly you're playing this person that's very out there, not like any typical woman you've ever seen. And then she does all these things that are acceptable guy behavior. But then when she does them, everybody shatters.
Right. Well, that's, the Thelma and Louise thing. When that
Oh,
came out,
yeah.
all the men we all felt near castrated or something. And everybody was scared, but that goes on so often. And I've seen some of your films in the past, and it seemed to me like I'd seen you in Total Recall. And before that, it was just you in the Amazonian jungle screaming Quartermain after Richard Chamberlain for 2 hours. So,
I should have been going like, "I'm a bimbo, I'm a bimbo."
Well, you gotta
Just,
get
like,
started.
Saved a lot of time.
You actually started in a Woody film, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was so great. I had been living in Europe. I was living in Paris modeling. And I finally woke up one day and went, "This is a stupid job, and why am I here?" And I got on a plane and went home. And I stood in line to be an extra in a Woody movie. And I got up to the front of the line after waiting like 2-3 hours. And he was sitting there actually picking the extras himself. And so he kind of like leaned forward to the lady. And I'm like, "Okay." And she says to me, "Woody would like you to sit down here for a while." So, okay, so I sit down. And for half an hour, he didn't look at me, he didn't talk to me. So I
He
go,
just looked at you?
"Okay, fine," didn't look at me.
Oh.
He just like ignored me, so I'm going, "Well, okay, now,
Of course,
why
we're
am I
talking
here?"
about Woody Woodpecker, the enigmatic.
So I left, and I thought, well, that's it. This was pretty weird. And the next day I got this call. "You're in the movie, come down, we want you to be an extra." I came down. I'm sitting there around with like 200 other extras, and he came over and sat down and started talking to me. And then he leaves, and I go, "Okay, more weirdness." And then somebody comes over and goes, "Woody would like you to be in the movie. What do you think?"
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
And it was Stardust Memories, right?
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk to you about this controversy now, because I can't tell what the hell the whole thing's about with the gay community, because it seems so. Well, we'll talk about it after the break. I don't know what's going on there. It didn't seem like much ado about nothing. We'll be right back with Sharon Stone after this, folks. All right, now, welcome back, Sharon Stone. Only a couple days away from Leon Yellowtail. He's really going to be here. Now, there's this huge controversy in the gay community about this film because your character is a bisexual, right?
Kind of.
Isn't she? Or is she just
Well,
a hedonist, I
yeah.
guess?
I think much more than she has any kind of healthy sexuality with any kind of choice. It's sort of something she does to get what she wants, and the people are secondary. The people are irrelevant. Their gender is really unimportant to her. She's kind of on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And if those people are there, that's great. If that works, that's great.
And the gay community, though, up in arms. How have they gotten in your face a lot, or?
Well, no, and I think that they haven't, because I do understand, and I'm empathetic about the use of a big platform like a movie like this that's already getting a lot of press and already getting a lot of attention. Is a great way to get your cause heard. And I think that's okay. But I just think we didn't have film to see.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe they read a script, maybe they read a script that wasn't truly the shooting script.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know where the impression began that it was going to malign gays or the homosexual community, because when I read the script, I mean, I certainly never got that from
Right.
it.
Well, if we stop treating, if you can't make a gay person or a bisexual person I'm saying if there was this long string of films and it was all about their sexuality, that was the reason they killed.
Right.
But if you can't go near that, then you're treating them differently just because of their sex. I've said this before, I don't want to get on a soapbox, but it seems to me that's the very definition of the problem, that you treat...
I agree with you, but I also agree that if you do look at the scope of films that are made, there pretty much are minority groups are always the bad guy. For a while, the Germans were the bad guy, you know, then it was the black gangster was the bad guy. It was like the bad Puerto Rican guy in the Shaft movies, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always some kind of thing.
But if I'm to read billboards this week, I can't jump. And, you know, I don't take that seriously, so, you know... Hey.
Solidarity, man.
Hey, Link S. All right, we got a clip from this film now. It's the interrogation scene, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk about, set it up, or what's the deal?
In the movie, I play a murder suspect. Michael Douglas plays the detective who's to head the case and find out who did this bad deed, and I've been brought down to the station to be worked over by the guys.
And in turn, you work them over. This is from Basic Instinct.
I had sex with him for about 1.5 years. I liked having sex with him. He wasn't afraid of experimenting. I like men like that. Men who give me pleasure. He gave me a lot of pleasure.
You ever engage in any sadomasochistic activity?
Exactly what did you have in mind, Mr. Corelli?
Well, look, the men all look like wild boars that have been stunned with an electric prod or something. No, what do you? The film is, and when you go, you know, you should go see this film because, you know, the sex is kind of, what was that? Well, I thought the film was a great thriller. I mean, obviously it's a bit steamy, but beyond that, you know, really a great thriller. But what are your, like, I feel like the squarest guy in the world here. Did your parents go see it, though? Because it's so racy. And I presume that's your bod that we see on there, right?
Yeah.
We haven't brought the Julia Roberts stunt bod in or anything.
No. No, I didn't have a decent meal for about 1 year.
Yeah, stayed lean. Well, you look cutting it. What'd your daddy think?
He was really happy about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very, very supportive of me as an actor. And I talked to him about doing nudity in movies once before because I didn't want them to be uncomfortable, and I wanted to know what they thought. And he sat down with me and he said, you know, you're an actress and you're a good actress. And you play people in life.
Mm-hmm.
And people take their clothes
Right.
off in life, so big deal. Do a good acting job, then it doesn't matter what you do.
Right. We got to get past this nude thing in this country. I mean, there are people
Yes,
getting hacked up all the time, and, you know, you always can tell you go to a nude beach in Europe, man, you always see the American guys ripping their head off, looking around, you know. It's just boobs, folks. Let it go. Well, I thought the film was great. I thought you were delighting it, and I know that this Oscar's happening this year. I hope next year I see you up there, because I thought you were brilliant in it. Sharon Stone, folks. We'll be right back after this with A Tribe Called Quest.
This portion of the Dennis